NBA preseason is here. Aaron Judge hits number 61. Brett Favre is a thief. But hey, I'm back. Alright, so look, I know Tuesday wasn't around. Life happens, but so much to get into in so little time. So I'm gonna do the best that I can. Alright, so before we get into any of those other topics that I just mentioned, Thursday Night Football. And we have a stellar game. So there's only, 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL? And one of them is on display tonight. The Miami Dolphins travel to Cincinnati, travel to the jungle to play the Bengals. Miami came off a very impressive win against the Buffalo Bills. That turned out to be a lot of people's, game of the week. Bills rode into Miami to South Beach and turned into a very defensive style of game. But nevertheless, Tua, who's on the hot seat this year, who the Miami Dolphins have given weapons to make sure that he can be as successful as possible. In his make it or break it year, so far he's delivering. Miami's 3-0. Tua doesn't look half bad out there, even though Tua did get hurt. And he is questionable, but I think he's going to play tonight. But nevertheless, Dolphins beat the team that a lot of people consider the best team in the NFL, including myself. I still think that the Bills are the best team in the NFL. And the Bills, in a sense, kind of gave that game away. But nevertheless, a win is a win. So they're taking their talents to the jungle in Cincinnati, going against the Bengals, who finally got their first win of the year against the Jets in New York. Joe Burrow, he only got sacked twice this time, so, that helps. The weapons in Cincinnati. Excuse me. Yeah, so the weapons in Cincinnati are showing up, and I expect a great game tonight, actually. Tyreek Hill, who was a former Kansas City Chief, calling out the best corner in NFL, Eli Apple. I'm kidding when I say that. But if you're not aware, Cincinnati ended up beating Kansas City last year to get to the Super Bowl. And Eli Apple opened his mouth and basically said that, he can buy Tyreek Hill tickets to the Super Bowl if he really wanted to go. And now Tyreek, this week basically saying that, he can't wait to see Eli Apple. He owes him one. So, that just added a little extra spice to this matchup tonight. As we know, Eli Apple, well, for me, is hot garbage. Former first-round pick of the New York Giants, didn't pan out there. Then went to New Orleans, and he wasn't so hot down there either. Comes to Cincinnati. I guess he does a little bit better, but, they're still picking on the guy. And then he talks trash about his former teams. Just somehow continues to open his mouth and create headlines for the wrong reasons. But nevertheless, I guess in this situation, it's pretty entertaining. I know one thing's for sure. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are not trying to go 1-3, trying to get back to 500 here. I don't know. I kind of like Cincinnati tonight. Spread is 3.5 in favor of Cincinnati. I think they cover. I think they cover and they win. I do, and it's like No disrespect to Tua and the Dolphins, who Tua, like I said, is having a great season. Got 925 passing yards already in 3 games. 8 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. I mean, he's doing his thing. Jalen Waddle's balling out. Tyreek Hill's balling out. The defense playing well. But I think Cincinnati, short week at home. I just feel Cincinnati's gonna win. So we'll see. That game's on Amazon Prime tonight, 7:15 Central Time. I'm here for it. All right, so since we're talking about NFL, let's talk about a former NFL quarterback. One of my favorite players growing up. Now, Deion Sanders was the main reason I got into football, and Randy Moss was another one. But my 2 favorite quarterbacks when I was really young was Steve Young, Hall of Fame quarterback for the 49ers, and Brett Favre. Kind of crazy, right? I'm a Bears fan, but Brett Favre's my favorite quarterback growing up. I don't know. It's just something about, his personality, the way he played the game. He looked like he was having fun. I don't know. He was just sensational. He was electrifying to watch when I was a kid. I wasn't a diehard Bears fan at the time. I was just still trying to figure out who my dad was. My dad used to watch the Bears religiously on Sundays. And every now and then I'll sit there and watch. But, my team was, they were losing a lot of times. But I saw Brett Favre on TV a few times. And I'm like, like, that guy looked like he's having fun. And they're winning. So apparently over the years I got my act together and became a Bears fan. I mean, neither here nor there. Either way. So I know this came out probably like a week ago. I'm just now getting to it, but even though, he was all that as a player, but the fact that this man, taking money from Mississippi welfare to fund, a new volleyball stadium for his daughter, like what? You're Brett Favre. You made over $100 million in your NFL career. So why are we doing that? I mean, Mississippi is one of the poorest, if not the poorest state in America, and you still in the welfare money from there to fund athletics for your daughter when I know you are a multi-million-dollar man. I mean, there's levels to being low, but it's been a long time since I've seen anyone hit this level. Like, what kind of human person would do that? Especially when you have the means. I mean, it's one thing if you was doing it and you was making $12 an hour somewhere, even though regardless that's still wrong. But like all of America watched you on TV slinging the ball for the Green Bay Packers, New York Jets, and the Minnesota Vikings for about 20 years. Oh yeah, and the Atlanta Falcons too. Make all this money for you to turn around and use the state welfare money to, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's right and wrong. There's moral and immoral. There's ethical, unethical. There's the law. All that stuff intertwines, but it's just like just all the wrong answers here, man. And then not to mention that, was it the governor? I had the story pulled up, and I can't recall right now. But basically, the text message chain basically asking, "Do you think the media will find out about this?" Which insinuates that you are willingly and knowingly doing wrong. Willingly and knowingly doing wrong. So any out of, I didn't know, I had no idea, I wasn't aware of all the information, that goes out the window. That means you was directly involved. And you're asking questions. Anytime that you have to ask a question of something that you're afraid to be exposed about, you're in the wrong, buddy. That's just what it is. And so therefore, I guess one of my childhood, favorite athlete idols, just, in the famous words of Randy Jackson from American Idol, yeah, that's a no for me, dog. Not going to be able to do it. All right, moving on to baseball. Aaron Judge hits home run number 61. He's tying Roger Maris' AL record for home runs there. So apparently for Maris, it took him October 1st, the final game of the 1961 season, to hit his 61st home run, which at the time broke Babe Ruth's single season mark of 60 home runs set in 1927. This is all AL, by the way. So that was game 155 for the Yankees. So he got 7 more games, I guess, to break the AL record here. If they pitched to the man, I feel like he would get it. Because I feel like lately, it's been intentional walks. No pitcher wants to be a part of history. I mean, rightfully so. I don't want my name attached to the guy who breaks the record, this, and that. But I mean, I like to see it. Once again, I'm not a Yankees fan by any means, but this is exciting for baseball. We haven't seen, guys hitting home runs like this in a while, and doing it, I guess, quote unquote, legally without steroids, right? Because however you slice it or dice it, I still witnessed Sammy Sosa hitting 66. I still witnessed Mark McGwire hitting 70. And I definitely watched Barry Bonds hit 73. I did. I watched it all. I seen it with my eyes. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have grown up watching baseball. I remember being young with my dad, catching it on TV every now and then. McGwire and Sosa, the home run race in '98. I remember that. I almost was a Cubs fan I almost became a Cubs fan because of that. Aaron McGwire, beat him out, but the Cubs made the playoffs, even though they got swept. But nevertheless, against the Braves. But yeah, as far as Aaron Judge, it's, phenomenal. And, everybody assumes he's not on steroids. Probably in this day and age, I guess the testing is a lot more different and more precise. So I guess safe assumptions are he's not juicing. In the year that this man betted on himself to get paid, he's going to get paid. If it's not by the Yankees, could be by the Mets, could be by whomever. Somebody's about to open up the checkbook here and pay this man. and rightfully so. So yeah, I hope he hits as many home runs as he can in the next 7 games. Now, I don't want to see the Yankees win the World Series, but, I hope he, in a time that the Yankees are in the playoffs, I hope he continues to have success and not turn into an Alex Rodriguez in the playoffs. Now, that's all I'm going to say with that one. All right. And then, lastly, that I'm going to discuss, NBA is back already. Media Day happened this past week. A lot of headlines here. A lot of people, quote unquote, in the best shape of their life or in their career, whatever you want to call it. You got headlines as far as, DeAndre Ayton having spoken to his head coach, Monty Williams, since, the Dallas Mavericks waxed him in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals. And then DeAndre Ayton, signed an offer sheet with the Pacers, and the Suns ended up matching it. Hasn't spoken to his coach since, and that's more so on the player for that. Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, they all had different headlines, but they were all in the headlines, and they all showed up to camp. Not to mention the whole Ime Udoka situation, which I'm pretty sure we're going to end up getting more details about as time passes and that impact with the Boston Celtics. And I feel like that right there probably took them out the number 1, number 2, and maybe the number 3 spots in the Eastern Conference because of that. Coaching matters. If you ain't got your coach, you expect the next man up to do an equivalent job of his, if not better, to win it all. I don't see it. Because the Eastern Conference is pretty strong at the top. So we got that going on. Zion Williamson in the best shape of his career. Probably. Because, we've known this man since the high school YouTube and Facebook highlights of just dominating in South Carolina to blowing out his sneaker at Duke and coming in the league and only playing a handful of games. But when he plays, he's putting up historic numbers. And now he actually got some help. They added C.J. McCollum. Brandon Ingram playing the best ball of his life. Zion's back in the fold. They had some pretty good, impressive rookies last year. They was playing some defense. The team was actually fun. Gave the Phoenix Suns some problems. It took a historical game from Chris Paul in Game 6 to avoid Game 7 last year. So, needless to say, the Pelicans are one of those teams that the Lakers don't have to worry about. Because, you hired Darvin Ham and traded for Patrick Beverly, who, by the way, he considers Russell Westbrook his best friend. And if you know the history of those two, it dates back from years ago. It wasn't a good history. But, that just shows you how, funny how life happens. How things in life can happen. So, nevertheless, you got that going on. Got LeBron back. You got Mr. Glass fraternity man, Anthony Davis. He out here talking about, like, my wrist wasn't healthy last year and it affected my game. The man did shoot under 20% from 3 last year. I give him that. But what do you expect when you're made of glass? I'm not trying to be mean, but the man literally plays 2K and streams it and watches himself get hurt while playing with himself. Pause. But while playing with the Lakers, he was playing. He was controlling himself and watched himself on the video game get hurt while streaming the game. I'm just saying. Somebody always I have one person that tells me this probably twice a week, and he says if I don't have bad luck, I have no luck at all. I mean, that might apply to Mr. Anthony Davis here. But where I'm hinting at is the Lakers. This is like now or never type deal. But the way that the Western Conference is stacked up, I don't see it. Presently constructed, I don't see it. Because outside of the defending champs Golden State Warriors, the one team that I feel like that is going to make like some serious noise, and I know we haven't like officially seen it before, ever in the history of basketball. But I do like Fun Guy, also known as the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, and the Clippers. I do like them a lot this year. Of course, pending health. If they're healthy, mainly throughout the whole year, that's a team that I think that can actually get it done. I feel like Kawhi is officially healthy. Paul George, I feel like, he has, ascended a little bit without Kawhi Leonard. Finally got that bad, playoff performance history. Like that whole narrative went away. The coaching is there. The owner is there. Like you have all the depth is there. Got John Wall. Still got Reggie Jackson, Zubac, Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann, one of those Morris twins. I mean, that's the team right there for me. And maybe Kawhi added some leadership in the process. Who knows? But when you got those two teams, you got Memphis who's right there, Dallas who added Christian Wood. I know Utah, bowed out gracefully there, but Phoenix is still a threat. We just talked about New Orleans, Minnesota. I mean, they're a threat. Denver, of course. So, yeah, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. And in the East, really quick, I mean, Miami's still going to be around. Boston, we already talked about them. I think Milwaukee is the best team in the Eastern Conference, fully loaded, fully healthy. I think Brooklyn is actually going to be right there. I think especially with the mandate lifted and all the circus action last year being a distraction, I think this is going to be the best Brooklyn team that we're going to see here. So I would be concerned if I'm other teams. Philly is right there. Cleveland got so much better in the offseason. That's a team I slept on. My Bulls. Lonzo Ball. I mean, there are reports that he may have to have a second knee surgery and could possibly miss this season. He could. Which would be a big blow, but I think we have depth at that position with Ayo Dosunmu. We just, drafted a rookie point guard who's a defender who basically fits what we're trying to do, can play multiple positions. Still got Alex Caruso. Now, Ball's playmaking ability is definitely going to be missed, and I know his defense was missed last year when he got hurt. When him and Caruso were hurt at the same time, our defense went out the window. But nevertheless, I think the growth and another year under Billy Donovan, I think we can actually do something and be more consistent and actually show up in the playoffs. But, we'll see. It's a long season. But nevertheless, preseason starts tomorrow. Already. Tomorrow. And the NBA season starts in a few more weeks after that. So, nevertheless, basketball's back. But yeah, continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio, on the No Offense Network. Check out your boy on social media at JGoodWithSports for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Check me out this Saturday on the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast, live 7 a.m. on Facebook with my bros Brandon and Ian. And then catch me on Sunday morning, no later than 7:15 Central Time, live on Facebook and YouTube with my bros Deshaun and Walter. And if you subscribe there, you have a chance at free merch. Who doesn't like free stuff? Who doesn't? I'm just saying. But nevertheless, you all have a good one. Finish out this week strong. I'll catch you next time. Until next time, peace.